Welcome back for episode 2 of our Solo World No Mods Update 11. This is going to be our prepping the first house. So, let me start loading this in the world. And we'll go back. So, once we are back again inside our little adobe building. So, let's drop that in there. We don't need it. Let's clean up a little bit of debris. Hey, Mr. Buffalo. Mr. Bison. Alright, so what we need to do is we need to chop down these trees. Let's get our tomatoes off the vines here. And we'll chop this tree down. Hopefully get it to fall in that direction. So we are getting 23 XP every time we hit the tree. So if we really wanted to, we could chop the roots, clear them out. So let's drop those in there, come back here. See, the problem with chopping these is it takes a while, just as many hits as it does to topple the tree. So oaks with a stone axe is somewhere around, I have it written down somewhere, I don't remember. It's like 15 or 15, 16, I think. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're on 8 once we eat some food, of course. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, so it's like 14, 15. I don't remember which. We'll know it right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, so it's 14 with the stone axe. It's like 16, I think, with no logging skill. So now that we did that, let's put that in there. We got wood. We were going to prepare our next house, or prepare for the house. So what we were doing is, I really don't want to do that. I do, but I don't. Until I get money, I really don't want to dig underground. And until we get carpentry, we can't. Carpentry skill book is a dendrology and a gathering page. The gathering page is takes gathering 1. Of course it does. So if we're going to go for carpentry before we do money, we have to take gathering. Sometimes I hate this game. I'll say it. I mean, you can hate it all you want. Let's go ahead and chop down these cactus or seguros. This one's not full grown, so we won't get the full growth out of it. But they are relatively easy to chop. Takes like 6 hits. And they break down into 6 parts. If they're fully grown. Drop those in there. Cleaning up my debris. Of course, we're hungry. And when you're hungry, you have absolutely no movement speed either. So, this is why sometimes you really, when you're out and about, you try to carry food on you. I just don't, and I don't think about it. Here, I'll just put all this food on me. Sorry about that text message ping. So let's clean up the rest of this debris. You want to clean up your debris because if you don't, it does slow you down on movement. So trying to run through it when you chop down a whole bunch of trees, it begins to suck. Let's put those in there, and then we'll put that stuff in there as well. Alright, those go in there, those go in there, those go in there. You know what? Let's move these down here. We'll use up those cigars first. Hey, Mr. Bison, out of my little hut. Dendrology pages, we need 20 of them, so for a carpentry book, we're going to need 3. So we definitely need to make 3, minimum. We will need, so when we get to, let's see, the other one I'm gonna want, masonry, it's gathering and mining, so we definitely need to get gathering first. So, what we're trying to do is get this. We're down to 3 hours and 45 minutes at the moment. So long as we keep that going. It'll go down less by the things that we craft. So we just lost 40 minutes by crafting 1 page. So if we do 3 more dendrology pages, that'll get us close to our star. It also gets us XP. So let's see about cutting more trees. So we come over here, we got trees galore. We want to harvest this corn. See that right there, this is the new plant, the flax plant. This is for making cloth. This is the new one that is the old plant fiber. So we're going to stay away from those oaks over there. Chop down these over, this one over here. If it means we move into another biome for trees, it's so be it. But right now, there's our star. We can get gathering. Or we can take mining. And that'll get us to star much quicker because every time we do mining, instead of just gathering, we'll get more XP. So let's drop that wood in there. That's coming down here. This is going here. So it will always use stuff out of a storage chest or a stockpile. Top row, left to right. So if you want to use a specific item, you want it further to the left and closer to the top and higher on the top row. So say I had one of the other mushrooms and I'd rather use it before I use these. Then I'd want the other mushroom over here compared to this one. Same thing goes for your vegetables. The ones that are relatively easy to get, you want further to the left. The ones that are harder and used for other recipes as well, you want further to the right. or further down and to the right, in this case, of a stockpile. So, say, let's go over here where it's a different biome and find some other vegetables. So, come over here. Oh, and there's our logging. Logging level 2. So, in this biome, we have ferns. We have huckleberries. Huckleberry plants do not disappear, unlike most other plants. There are a few others that are that way too. I did not really want to pick that up. I don't want to pick up the ferns just yet, until we're making salads. These are fire shoots, I believe. No, those are not fire shoots. Where are they? No, those are lupin. That's another plant fiber. Also in this one, besides huckleberries, ferns, and bolete mushrooms, there is, I know there's another plant in there. I just can't remember what it is. But in the grasslands are the flax, the tomatoes, the corn, wheat, pumpkins, I believe. Beans. Beans are the other one over here. That was the other one I was thinking of. For warm forest. So let's grab the beans. Of course, not ready. Alright, there's beans. There's plenty of ferns. As long as you leave one, the patch will regrow. Backpack. Oh, yeah, that's grassland. Pumpkins are in warm forest, which is the birch and where is that zone? Over here. Pumpkins are over here, sorry. So what we did, we said we had a skill. We want to use it. So what we want to do is we are going to take mining, which is under the mason tree. Since we don't need a book, we can do it. This will use our star. It's just a warning. So now that we did that, now we will gain XP every time we hit rocks. So let's go up here. We're gonna trying to think of where else I want to go. I want to go to the jungle actually. So let me go dump this stuff over here at our camp. As you see our marker on the map, it'll always tell you where your base camp is, where your campsite is. We're going to leave the right, or leave the, not the rice, but the wheat. So come over here to this. Put that in there. We'll put huckleberries at the end. Excuse me. Beans. Beans are used for a hell of a lot more than rice or than tomatoes and corn. Tomatoes and corn are pretty well. Corn is used for corn flour in milling, but it's not for cooking wise. It's a generic one that you're not going to really. It can be burned up, just like tomatoes. Tomatoes don't are in a lot of recipes, but they also grow relatively easy. You get pretty well a larger harvest out of them, so you're not really that worried about wasting them, to tell you the truth. Certain recipes do use a lot more of other aspects. Throw that in there, throw this one in there. That's for farming, and we'll get to that at some point. So, now we did that. Oh, we want to check beans. Let's check beans. Campfire charred beans. Let's grow one. While that's going, let's check our map and see where our jungle is. Our jungle's up there. So, over here. Alright, so let's go check the jungle and see about getting some papaya, some taro, and let's see other one over there. Okay, our charred beans are done, so we'll try eating those when we come back. There's our jungle over there. So, we want to jump in the water. We'll use a little bit of XP or calories to swim. Alright, so once we're over here, we want our shovel for the taro plant. Taros are another one that you will get a lot of, or a decent amount of, just by harvesting a small area. See, I've already got 22 taro, and I only did, what, 8 plants or whatever? Chibas, you really want to stay away from them until you get an iron axe, because they take like 30 hits a piece to chop down. If you're gonna start towards the jungle, go for the palm trees. Yeah, they suck. They're kind of like a saguaro cactus. They are easy to knock down. They break down into 6 to 8 pieces, but they do bounce around quite a lot. So there is that downside. Chibas are one of those that has a lot of wood in it, kind of like an oak tree, but they take a lot of hits to break down. The papaya trees are right here. Let's grab some papaya. And we have our coquina mushrooms. This is another mushroom type. There are 4 mushroom types. 3 of them are edible. One is not. One that is not is the... Oh, it's a red mushroom with speckled on it. I cannot think of the damn name right now. It's not the cremini. It's not the belay. It's not the coquina. Those are the 3 that you can eat. I'll think of it at some point. Joshua trees are another one that's similar to a pine, an oak, or a pine, a birch, a spruce. There's a bunch of them that all break down into 8 to 10 pieces when they're full grown, and will yield you about 40 wood per. key is never chop down the ancient redwoods. Those are the big ones standing right there in the middle of the screen that the shovel is now pointing at. Yes, they get you a lot of redwood, but you can never regrow them. And they are the biggest thing that eats pollution once you start producing pollution. So, the other thing in the jungle that we want... I'm trying to think. It's not the pineapple. Well, I think we got what we want. Alright, so let's run back. I know we didn't do a lot of prep for the house in this episode. But in a way we have, because we are preparing. So we can't really do a lot with the house until we make room. And that requires us to get skills, so we have to get our XP. So run around, come back to the camp. Alright, so our papayas are higher usage than our huckleberries. Huckleberries are very, yeah, you get a lot of them, but they are used in a lot of things. So you're going to make something that, and you have to use a fruit type, a fruit tag. Preferably do not use your huckleberries. Use anything but. Use your pumpkins, use your papaya, use your cactus fruit. There's another one in the desert. I can't think of it. But you want to use those out there. So the coquinas can come in here. Once that's done, let's go to the campfire. We will do... we get that. Not the comets bulb, we want the taro. Let's do a taro. As I said, with the fungus, it is... Oh, I guess you can use the amenity in fungus tag. They changed that. Normally you couldn't. So I think they've changed that. That used to be a shit mushroom. I mean, it was total crap. It wasn't used in anything. About the only thing you could use it in was research pages. And it basically, when you ate them raw, they took 200 XP or 200 calories out of your stomach. They were not good. So now that we did this, let's try beans. Those are normal, and the taro is normal. So far, our tastiness, we have not found any bad food, which is very rare. You normally start off with a bunch of bad food. We get lucky with a couple okays and maybe one delicious. I have actually gotten pretty good on this. It is completely random every start on what food your character likes. One game it might be you may love mushrooms. Next one you will be absolutely horrible for them. So, you know, it may be good for you once to where you know, it's either delicious or good. You get 10 or 20% bonus. Next game, like I said, it could be bad, it could be horrible, and you get minus 10 or minus 20%. So it is key to find the ones that you like. And the more people that are playing, everybody has a different food that they like. You just try to find foods and buy foods, or if you're the cook, eating the foods that you make for yourself that give you the XP bonus by having the tastiness factor. Because as you can see, I have a tastiness factor of plus 5%. If I could get the balanced diet better, and get the vitamins and the fat and lose some of this protein, which is very rare. It's normally carbs and vitamins that are the ones that are high. I just don't have any fruit in my system right now. So, that's the other one we were going to do. We were going to do a charred papaya. So we can test it. And you can move these up and around. So the top one is the first one that's going to pull and take from or put into. And you can change whether or not it takes or pulls from one or puts it in. So, you know, if I decide to do this, it will never take anything out of this stockpile and will never put anything in it from this campfire. Horrible. So we do not want charred papaya. It is horrible for us, which is a minus 20 on our tastiness. So that basically just negated out our charred tomato or our regular tomato. Or at least part of it. Definitely knocked out our regular tomato that we ate raw. Otherwise, you know, it knocks out part of our charred tomato bonus. So, from there, so we will not ever make any more of those. We need to, let's check this. Alright, what we're going to do, we're going to go underneath this. We're going to need to queue up one more. Alright, so we have those. We want to do this one as well. That is the size of our house. 4 by 3. Ultimately. Either that or we are going to, I believe. Alright. Trying to think. Alright, that's 67, so we actually need, that's 68. So our bottom layer of our house is going to be on 60. So you got 61, 62, and 63 are the height of the room. 64 would be our floor in between. So 65, 66, and 67 are our other rooms. So 68 is our ceiling. So if we're going to do this, so let's go ahead and move these up. So that's 69. So that's going to be right above the ceiling tile, which is what we want to do. The way I like to go to my house. So what we're going to do is we're going to end up digging down in this spot. Basically what we're doing is we're terraforming. So, okay, let's get this stone. Oops. Waste a little bit of calories by dumping it where we didn't want it. Alright, so 67. We want to tear out these. Like I said, we are going for our next star, and we'll do that by making pages. So now we just dropped all those and we have basic geology. We can make go ahead and make 10 pages. Do that, and that just means that we're breaking this down. 65 is the bottom of the floor. Let's do this. How far out does this go? Alright, so we are looking at $730. So 731 is the farthest we want to go that direction. If you just hold E, you can pick up everything that, as long as the cursor's over it. As long as it's pickable, or size is able to be picked up. Drop those in there. Which is because of this. This is why I never take the hand talent at level 6, I believe it is. It's either 3 or 6, whichever one allows you to pick up everything of the same type. So whenever I'm a miner, I do not take it. I'd rather break these pieces, never have these pieces to start with, and wasting an extra hit. So, see, this was 33, so we can keep going. Yes, we're digging a hole. So like I said, we're building our house underground. That's 32. We said we were going to 31. Because 30 is the edge of the... yeah, land plat, land claim. So ultimately, we're trying to get our next skill here. See, we don't want to wait no 21 and a half hours. This is why we're making research pages out of our stone that we're just digging, because we're not going to make it as, we're not going to, I mean, we could make our house out of stone if we really want, but I'm not in the middle, I'm not waiting to do masonry right away. But, you know, like I said, with a multiplayer, you got different people doing different skills. You have your people that are doing logging, they're taking the wood to a carpenter to make, or, well, they're making the hewn logs themselves. Once they get a carpentry table. But then they're trading the hewn wood to carpenters. Carpenters are then making furniture and other stuff. The masons are making other furnitures. They're making mortared stone. So, I mean, each skill has its aspect, and if multiplayer, some people don't start off right away. They're not getting a lot of XP until those research pages are done for the books. So, I'm going to dig one more down. Because this is the floor, but not for right now. I should have actually left this and continued to dig like I was. Alright, so, what we're looking at, fun part will be all this damn clay as well. So while we got this extra wood, let's make another stockpile. And why don't we go ahead and make another storage chest. Hungry. Two, three, and four. Iron ore. Well, crushed iron ore. Okay, let's drop that in there. We need to go back to making some more food. So let's find our mushrooms. Make 10 of those. Where's our corn? We have 30 there, so we'll make 10 of those. We have the fish. We have 10 of those. And the tomatoes. We can easily do, we'll do 8 of those and get it back to an even 10. Of course, we need to eat some food. So we can put in the rest of the, that. Charred food only gets you so much XP. You need the second tier. So you need to start getting into the campfire versions, which is the salads and stuff like that. The salads are really good. And the top porridge is good enough to get you your vitamins and your carbs in order to balance stuff out of all the proteins. So, and that would be one in which like I said, you would use your papaya, you would use your pumpkins first. Because, let me get that recipe. To make it, you have fruit. So your fruit is going to be cactus fruit, huckleberries, papaya, pineapples, prickly pears, and pumpkins. Now, prickly pears are hard to find. They're only in the desert, and there's not a lot of them. So you're not going to really be using those. Cactus fruit comes strictly from harvesting saguaro cactuses. And they come from the debris that gets left behind. They're kind of random, so you're not always going to find them. Huckleberries you get a lot of, but they're used in a lot of recipes. Papaya and pumpkin are going to probably be your first two choices for fruit if you're going to have to use some. Pineapples are 1 per harvest until you get gathering 6. To your high gathering, pineapples, you're going to get 1 per plant, even though the plant does not disappear like huckleberries. And you're going to wait a base level of 19 hours before that pineapple is back again. So they are they're kind of like the worst crop yield there is. So pineapples, you keep at the back. Huckleberries, maybe before that. Pumpkins and papayas are a lot better. You put those in front, use them up first. In the way of fruits. As I said, your vegetables. So, I mean, you got your campfire salad here. Your fern one. It is going to use fiddleheads, which are the ferns, huckleberries, and any vegetable. So you're talking beans, beets, camas, corn, taro, tomato. Tomatoes, like I said, they're the generic, they're used everywhere. That is one of the best ones to use for this. If not that, either your taro or your camas bulbs. corn is your number 4. Beans have so many more uses. Beets have so many more uses. Hearts of palm are like the cactus fruit. They come from palm trees. So it is a rarity on those as well. You know, like I said, campfire set, stew set. We won't do the stew because it requires meat. The frieds all require a fat, which come from the butcher side and burning certain meats. Jungle campfire salad is a pineapple, papaya, heart of palm, and a green. Greens, there are several of them, and they are the agaves found in the desert, the beet greens that come with beets every so often, not every harvest, not every plant, fiddle ferns, or the fireweed shoots, which are found in the cold biome or the tundra. So, you know, like I said, the beet ones you want to hold back because of the beet salad. This one, because it uses, well, I guess you could use them anywhere. You used to need them for this one specifically. So you'd use a beet green and a fruit. The root campfire is a taro, a camas, and a green. All the salads have the same nutritional values. It's just a matter of which vegetables you have handy, which crops. And like I said, the wild stew is much later because it requires flour, which requires milling. Your campfire sausage and roast come after somebody has butchering and can make raw sausage or raw roast. Otherwise, you are stuck making charred meat, or which you can do with just basic carcasses. It's not until somebody has butchering. You're going to be using you might be using these in order to get your meat, your fish, until somebody has hunting. Frying a bison, you'll get 8 charred meat. If you get a chance to butcher the bison, however, you're going to get 10 raw meat. Plus 3, plus some other shit for Taylor. But, so, basically by not having it butchered, you're losing 2 meat. So, there is reasons why you eventually, when butchering comes around, you no longer char on the campfire an animal corpse. And then you have your tiny animals and your small animals and your medium animals. Each one is a little bit different in how much you get in the quality of meat, number of meats. So, since we're now here, let's put some more wood in here. Wait. There. What was I doing? Were we still making any more? No, we were not. So, geology basics. We can do 2 more. We need to get more down. so we can get gathering. And then we can really start moving. Shoot. I'm trying to think how many we need. We're going to get... How much XP is this? 35. So 35, so we're gonna get 3 points. No, 6. No. 0.6. 0.7. We'll make 6 more. Oh, this is gonna suck so bad. Running into stuff that we gotta dig. Alright, can we place this up here? Don't think so, not without taking those out. We can put it over here though, so let's go get our other stockpile that we made. Because we can put that up here. And even since we're not here, we're here all by ourselves, it does not matter that this is not on our property. If you were playing multiplayer and you did not want anything to be taken from it while you were away from your property, you would definitely want to make sure this says it's on your property. Much like this one. Because this one says it's on and belongs to. If I was playing with somebody else, this one they could not touch. But anything I put in this one, they could freely take. Or they could pick this stockpile up and take it with them. But since we're all by ourselves and it doesn't make that big of a difference, do this and throw this in here. Throw this up here. Where is our other chest? Here. So we want to throw this chest here. I'm going to put this up here and this up here. Come back in here, and we are going to change the storage to where those are there. Yes. So all the resource pages are going to go into that chest first. Alright, we can't reach those others just yet, so let's do a little moving around. We're going to take this and put it in this chest here, and then we are going to pick this up. See, this is what the nice thing is with that little tiny stockpile, is we no longer will, or I mean, we're going to use it, but we're just going to stick it down here with us. so that we can go shovel here, shovel here, shovel here, shovel here, and then we go like this, and we can move it to another one that's within range. So we can go ahead and pick this up, and we'll come over here and do this side as well. That is 67. That's 30. We don't want to do those. We do, but we don't, because we do have to fill them back in. Alright, so see, by touching this one, we can actually move all of this. Because this one is within 9 tiles, 9 yardage of the small, of the tiny that we put down there, and it's also within 9 of the stockpile that we have up there. So we can move it from there to there just by touching this one and dragging it from one to the other. So we're gonna have all that clay too at some point, which is the part that's gonna suck about this. Ooh, we're almost at a star. Cool. It says it's an hour, but we're making those. So see, that's 67, that's 68. Alright, so really so this is 68, which is really where the house is gonna go. So if we do this, this one is 31, so we want to go here. I really shouldn't have taken those out. But I'll get wood up there soon enough. Whether it's wood or the adobe. Alright, there's those. Too hungry, so let's go get some food. All right, So, this tile right here. Oh, oops. Wrong one. Alright, now we can pull that one. So all we're doing is backfilling, taking out area that and taking dirt from a spot that we don't want it and placing it somewhere that we don't mind it being. Like I said, we're prepping the area for our house. We don't want to bring the clay up there. That's 68. So yeah, that level right there will go. So that goes. Eventually we'll get this clay out of here. So let's dig that, and that out, and that out. 67. And there's our star. So now that we did that, we can go to gathering. And now we will really start moving. Because now with gathering, every time we harvest crops, or grass, or any other plant life, other than trees, we will get XP for it. And then we can start doing, now that we have that, we can go harvesting at next episode and pick up the stuff that we need to make the gathering basics, which is plant fiber and raw food, which really sucks because, you know, that's some of the stuff that we're going to need for cooking. So you pick the shit that is the worst crap out there that you don't need, or that you get the most abundance of, and you use it for your raw food. Things like rice, corn, tomatoes, any of the mushrooms, because there's so many, there's 4 varieties, it's easy to use them. Taro, use it. Camas bulbs, use them if you have them. Those are probably the top 6, 8 to use for raw food, depending on what biomes you are near. Plant fiber is relatively easy. That is any grasses, that is the stuff, that's any of this grass. We come over here to this forest right behind us, and we harvest this stuff, the sala. This is one of my favorites because it gives you 4. This is why I like being next to this forest. Other than the fact that redwoods are considered a softwood. That is considered, I forget which one that one's considered. But yeah, you can get plenty of plant fiber just from the sala. As long as it's fully grown. You go harvesting this stuff, then you cut down your trees and turn the rest into wood pulp. We're too hungry. So just that little bit that I cleaned up, we have 119 plant fiber. So in order to make the carpentry book and the masonry book, we need 1 page of each, or 1 page of, I think it's carpentry, 3 pages. Okay, so for 3 pages we need 60 plant fiber. So pretty much we almost, just shy, have enough plant fiber to make both the carpentry book and the mason book once we get the raw food. So storage, we could take the plant fiber, throw it in this chest because it's research. Let's put that there. Did we have anything in? No, we had nothing there. Alright, taro seeds. Those can... we'll just throw them in there. Throw those in there. We gotta make another chest for the seeds alone, especially plant seed, or crop seeds and spores. So, I really should cut this episode since we are now at an hour and 15 minutes. I will see everyone back in the next episode. So again, remember to like and subscribe if you're beginning to like this. Otherwise, you know, do it when you want. The likes are just for my feedback, know whether or not I'm doing a good job for first time videos. So I will see everyone next time. Enjoy.